I am not a destroyer of companies. I am a liberator of them. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that greed, for lack of a better word, is good. Greed is right. Greed works.
Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Play Wall Street Raider version 7.81. I'm RakeM, your host. This is going to be a new Let's Play. We're going to start a brand new game and we're going to play all 35 years of it, hopefully this time. If you are new to Wall Street Raider and you've never played it before, I suggest that you go to either the Getting Started tutorial or watch the first 8 or so episodes of my Let's Play for version 7.6. In that Let's Play, I cover a lot of the fundamentals and basics of, what buttons to click and whatnot that I'm really not going to cover this time. I'm going to assume going into this particular Let's Play on this version that you already are familiar with the game. You are familiar with how the trading desk is laid out, where the menus are, and what the different reports show you and stuff. I'm mainly going to be talking about the strategies that I'm using and not so much about the buttons that I'm clicking. So if you've never played the game before, just go watch some of those others and some of those other videos and come back to this one after you kind of have a feel for how the game is played. Like I say, the first 8 or so episodes, I cover most of the basics. I think another interesting one to watch would be about the first 20 minutes or so of episode 11, where I cover the size of the entire market and some of the math behind my spreadsheet. So go take a look at those and then come back and join us for this one. So before I start my game, I want to point out something that I didn't talk about in the last series, and that is down here in the bottom left under commodity prices, indexes, and indicators. These numbers are all pretty much the median value for each of these categories of prices and indicators. So like the prime rate here shows 7.25%. The average prime rate is anywhere from 6.75% all the way up to 8%. That's the median value for the prime interest rate. Short bond and long bond, of course, that's just the yield. The par value on those is always 100. Spot crude, average price is $100 per barrel. Spot gold, average price $1,200 per ounce. GDP growth here shows 2.5% according to the manual. And just so you can look this up on your own, it's on page 96 of the manual. It says that the GDP typically grows at about 3%. Shows 2.5 here. Silver, the median value is $20 per ounce. Wheat is actually $6 per ounce. And you can look those up on pages 136 and 137. Corn, $5 an ounce, or $5 a bushel is the average price. All right, so those are the averages, and if you ever forget, you can just look at it before you start a game, and that'll give you an approximate number to remember. All right, so let's go to New Game, and we are going to make the computer a player. This time I'm going to call him ID10T. RakeM is me, and we're going to make this $1 billion to start, 35-year game, and we're going to do level 3 on the difficulty level this time. So we're going to have more taxes, more restrictions, more regulations to deal with this time out than we did last time. All right, so it's going to create the database. Computer will play first. He's finished. Now it's my turn. It's going to give me 2 notices. One about how to find the charts, which I already know, and the other is about interest rates. And they're going to go to easing, which is good. All right, I am pausing the ticker, and I'm going to save my game. File number 1. There's 2 schools of thought when we're starting a new game. The first one is to be very conservative and to make sure that whatever you invest in, it's going to go up. So you're only going to bet on a sure thing. The other school of thought is to gamble like crazy and run your net worth up as much as possible or go broke immediately before you have a lot of time invested. Because if you go broke right now, it's not going to be a big deal. You just start a new game. I'm of the school of thought in the second category, where I like to gamble a lot in the first few months of the game. And it used to be that you could start on day one doing just that. But in version 7.7, Ronensoft put in a restriction that you can't do a whole lot until February the 1st. About the only thing you can do is buy and sell stocks, and I think you can still do swaps, interest rate swaps, and you can do physical commodities. But beyond that, you really can't do a whole lot. So I'm going to do pretty much what I did last time. I'm going to look for a company that I can buy 100% of, eliminate some of its debt to help its earnings increase right away, hope that a cheat scenario comes up to bring along a huge cash influx of cash that will immediately raise the stock price and that we can sell it before February 1st, and then we'll do a whole bunch of gambling after that. All right, but before I do anything else, I want to change my settings here. Ticker speed of 66. I want my law firm to be the expensive law firm. Okay, and everything else I think is right. We want pop-ups and earnings reports to show, so that's good. Auto saves off. We're going to exercise the options. We're not going to make delivery. We want our options to get, or our futures to be settled. So those need to be both be no. We are going to pay off any loans from cash that we get. I like the large charts, so that's good. We want that on and we want this off. Okay, good. Everything's set the way I like it. All right, so the next thing is to go to biotechnology. And the reason why I like biotechnology is because it always has a high demand in the early stages of a game. And generally the return on capital assets is usually in the high teens. It's doing better this time, which is actually even better for us. And I paused the tickers because in the first few minutes of the game, all the stocks rise, usually. So I want to buy the stock before the stock prices rise. So I paused the ticker right away. So let's select that and go to projection and see who we can get for a good price. And take note of what you see here. A lot of ones in the $100, 100% range, 100 to 200% range. That's going to change between now and February 1st. These are all going to be in like the 300% range. All right, let's see. Who do we want to get? I guess HGSI would be a good one. Although he may be more than we can buy. I usually get one in like the 1 to 1.5 range. But these guys are all kind of, well, they're highly leveraged though, so it'll probably be all right. But I just don't like how high they're trading. Let's take a look at HGSI, see how big he is. Yeah, see, he's kind of high. We'd end up spending about 1.3 billion on him. So we wouldn't have any extra cash to give him to knock this down. So I think maybe we would need to go back and look at another one. Let's look at, what's this one? Genzyme or Abgenics. Let's look at Abgenics. No, he's controlled. All right, let's look at Genzyme. See, that we can afford, and we would have a lot of money left over to eliminate this debt. All right, so let's get Genzyme. All right, we got 595 million left to give him. Let's give him 575. All right, let's pay all of it off. And we did have to, in this level, you have to pay an extra 2% for prepayment penalty. Let's buy back our bonds. All right, so we made a profit on buying back the bonds, which is why we have taxes due. We have 64 million in cash, no debt, and our stock price is already up, so we've got a gain already of 40%. All right, our projection is for 3 cents, and we only made 7 cents all of last year. We're reasonably competent, so let's protect that and go make our management, or make our R&D setting high enough that our management will stay good. All right, so the highest one I see here is 9%. So what we'll do is we'll make ours 10, and our growth rate will make that, let's see, we're making 19%. So this right here will be right where it needs to be for us not to go into more debt. But I want to double this. Let's make it 22. So 10, 22, and we don't have a dividend and don't want one, so that's good. All right, so productivity, 10%. Growth rate, 22%. Okay. Now, he declares earnings on the 10th of January, which is only 9 days away. So what we'll do is we will turn on the ticker and run the simulation to the 10th of January, and then we'll figure out what we want to do next. Okay, well, instead of making 3 cents, we basically broke even. We lost $210,000. And the main thing is, what is it going to be next time, next quarter? So let's take a look. 13 cents. So our price should go way up as a result of that projection. We have more money now than we did before the earnings declaration, so we can probably increase our growth rate. Our earnings have gone up to 18.5 from 17. We're still the biggest spender in terms of R&D. So let's make this growth rate 26%. Everything else looks good. We're still reasonably competent. The industry is deteriorating, but there's not much we can do about that right now. And everybody is in so much debt, I don't think that's going to continue for very long. See how much debt all these guys have? Very few. I mean, we're the only ones, well, no, not quite the only ones, but close. We're only one of 2 that has an A credit rating. So these guys should have to slow down here pretty soon. All right, so basically we're just waiting for 2 things to happen. We want our stock price to get up to, like, let's see, our net worth is 820. We want him to get up above 16. And when he's up above 16, what we're going to do is we're going to issue new stock so that I am no longer a 100% shareholder. And once we reduce our holdings down to like 80%, We will start selling some options on him once we issue the stock, and it's February 1st. All right, so I'm just going to fast forward to February 1st unless a cheat scenario comes up. All right, here we are February 1st, and our stock price is only at 13, which is too bad. Let's get these others off this list. All right. Our projection has gone way up. So we should be seeing a bump in price, but we haven't yet. Of course, the projection is refigured at the end of the month, so maybe you'll start going up at this point, but we're at 168 and we should get up to like 250. You see how few of them are in the 100 to 200 range now? Here we are February 1st, and almost all of them have had a huge jump in price. The only exception being Biogen up here, but he's too big for us to mess with. He's got no credit and he's underwater in terms of debt. Lucky for him, the interest rates are low and going lower. Still easing. All right, so we at this point can mess with options and futures and everything else. So we might want to sell short wheat. We can sell short silver as well. And we can buy gold. But with the interest rate going down, I don't really want to. Well, actually, that's a good time to buy gold. The interest rate down. But first, let's do one that we think is going to be the biggest winner here, which I think is going to be silver. So, wow, look at wheat. Went all the way up. So did he. All right, let's sell short some of both of these. So I've got credit of 1,400. So you want to do about 700 million on each of those. Because like I said, we're going to gamble big and see if we can run it up quick. All right, so wheat, we're going to sell short. And I can afford 1,500 contracts, so I'm going to make this 600. And yes, I'm going to borrow. All right, and reselect to silver. Sell it short. Here I can afford 378, so I'm going to make it 250. Yes. Okay, and let's see where we stand. We've got 400 million in credit left. So if, well, that just got cut in half. So we just lost a bunch of money on silver. So let's see what happens here. If I go broke right away, we'll just start over. All right, so I'm going to fast forward until we either get a cheat scenario or we hit the next earnings date for Genzyme. Or we get a margin call, either one. Okay, I'm pausing because Genzyme has gotten up above $16 a share. So let's go to Genzyme and issue some stock. Okay, we're going to do a public stock offering, and we want 25 million shares. We got $411 million out of that. And now I only own 80%. Now, I think Genzyme is going to continue to go up, so I'm going to buy calls and sell puts on Genzyme. So buy call, Genzyme, and I'm going to set it to $20. Basically, you want to split the difference between where it's trading now and what the maximum is. I only have power to do 1%. No, let's not do that. Let's sell puts first. All right, so this time selling puts, we're going to do it at 20. Same thing. Split the difference basically. And this one I can do 10%. And I just received 47.4 million for that. So I'm going to sell 100% in puts. I'll fast forward while I do that, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have sold puts on 100% of the stock. And now I have some money to work with, so I'm going to buy calls. Before his stock goes much higher, I want to get all those calls bought. So I'm going to do this again for the same price of 20 bucks, and this time I'm buying them, so it's going to cost me money. Okay, and I'm going to buy 100%, and I will be right back. Okay, we now have 100% calls and 100% puts. And we have made money here, about 50 million so far. And this one's flat. So basically, if his price goes above 20, we're making money. And if it stays right where it is or goes down, we're going to lose money. So now I have $2 billion. I guess I'm making it off of wheat. So let's sell short some more silver. Let's cover our wheat and sell some more silver. Sell short some more silver. Guess we should have bought gold too. Look at that. We can sell short crude too, but silver right now is the one that's at the high end of its range. So let's sell short some more silver. I can afford 2,325 contracts. Let's make it 2,000. I have to borrow for that. Yes. Okay, close. All right, now it's going to be real important for this to go down. All right, let's take a look at Genzyme real quick. Industry is deteriorating. We're reasonably competent, but our estimate's still high for our projection. on earnings. All right, we got 400 million to work with here. Question is, what do we want to do with it? With all these guys in debt trouble, let's go and see if there's anything for sale. Here's a bunch of assets for sale, so let's buy some of these up. We got 400 or so. Let's buy from Zoma. Does Biogen have any? Biogen doesn't have any for sale. Let's see. Maybe I should just take from him. Yeah, let's go with that one. We'll buy 400. All right. So we bought assets from Pioneer Hybrid here. Still have a good credit rating, and everybody's increased their growth rates, but they are going to run out of credit. All right. So it's March 3rd, and we have another earnings report due in a month. Happy to see that silver has gone down. Maybe we should sell it short some more right now. Let's do that. Let's keep doubling down here. Sell it short. Wait. Is that trade futures, silver, sell short? That's all I can do. All right, let's do 500. I don't know why I can only do 500. I got plenty of cash. Oh, I have Genzyme selected. That's why. Let's do some for me. Sell short. Guess I should have looked a little closer. This is more like it. All right, let's do 6,500. All right, go down. Wow, it just jumped too. That might wipe us out. Oh crap. It just wiped us out. Well, I just went bankrupt. You humans don't do very well, do you? No, we don't. Not when we gamble. uh, think of it as long-term investing, like 700 years. I am bankrupt. Yes, I know I'm bankrupt. All right, let's restart and try this again. All right, open save game, and we're just going to open up number 1. Okay, now we know we're going to buy Genzyme. And we've got 550 million we can give him. Okay, let's pay off his debt. Buy back his bonds. Okay, again, we have a little bit of a tax due because we made money on the bonds. R&D of 10, growth rate of 22. Okay. Now let's fast forward to January 10th. All right, so here we are January 10th, and we lost more money this time than we did last time, but it's still not very much. So let's take a look and see. Oh, we already got a, looks like a cheat scenario. All right, so Research Committee on Botanicals. We've completed research after 8 years on a compound extracted from the Tlaxacoatl plant, a common shrub that grows in the jungles of Peru and Ecuador. All testing has been done under heavy security and absolute security, blah, blah, blah. We referred to it as Herb 27. Our tests of a straight extract have shown that in 90% of cases it totally cures any and all cancers, including formerly incurable types such as liver and pancreatic cancer. More astoundingly, it does so with none of the herbal or harmful side effects of our top-selling chemotherapy drug, Neutoxin. So, la-di-da-di-da, we are in somewhat of a quandary. If we release our research findings about the effectiveness and lack of any side effects of the natural plant, herbal extract, it would quickly displace our Neutoxin drug as the primary treatment for cancer and could be sold cheaply by any of our competitors, as we would have no patent protection on the natural herb extract. On the other hand, if we conceal our research, we could receive some very bad publicity if it ever leaks to the press that we have discovered an almost total cure for cancer but have sat on it and kept our knowledge of its huge benefits to society a secret. So basically, I'm being offered a choice between releasing the results of the research and giving the world the cure for cancer, which will tank the sales on our drug Neutoxin, or I can bury the research and hope that we're not found out, basically. Well, neither of these really puts any money in my pocket, because basically suppressing the research only allows me to continue to sell a drug I've been selling for a while. So I think I'm actually going to say no to this one and release the cure for cancer. The only problem is that would bring down our stock price. So maybe I should say yes and then immediately sell the stock. I don't know. What do you think, Gordon?
Greed is right. Greed works.
All right, we'll go ahead and suppress the findings, and we will then sell Genzyme, because he will almost certainly be found out. And we're just going to hope for his stock price to get up to 16 and then sell it. All right, and we're there. Oops, pause. There we go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and sell my stock. And we've made... Oh, that's right, I forgot this is level 3. All right, let's have him do the IPO first, and then we'll sell it. When you own 100% of a stock in levels 3 and 4, it doesn't allow you to just sell off 100% of the stock like it does in the lower difficulty levels. You have to find a private buyer, and the terms are always terrible. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a public stock offering and reduce our holdings to 80% of the stock and then sell it. And that way we don't have to take a huge hit. Okay, we gained 57% on the sale. And we have 1.5 billion in cash. We owe 102 in tax, which I will go ahead and prepay. Okay, and it's only January 21st, so let's go back and find another one. And looks like HGSI is the best one. And we wouldn't be able to buy 100% of him because he's too big. He's 3 times the size of Genzyme. Well, maybe not. He owes a lot of money. His management's mediocre. He's got a B credit rating. All right, let's buy him and turn him around. We got to borrow 14 million to buy him. Okay, so we own 100% now. All right, let's set the R&D to 11. We'll leave the growth rate at 8% for right now because we got too much debt. And he doesn't have a dividend, so we don't need to worry about eliminating that. All right, so debt-wise, we need to just even these up. So what is that? He needs to get down to, we need to give him like 230 billion, or million, excuse me. So I'm going to borrow 230 million and advance it to him. Or not advance it to him, but just give it to him. All right, now I'm going to have him pay that down. Okay, so now we have more equity than debt. That should give us a BB credit, triple B instead of a B credit rating. And we will just, if we have to, we will lower our growth rate, but just depends on what the situation is here. It's still deteriorating, but everybody has a lot of debt, so we'll go with that. We'll lower it if we have to, but otherwise we'll leave it alone. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward until February the 1st, and then we'll take a look at these commodities and see about buying some. So we'll be right back. Okay, here we are, February 1st. Gold is kind of high. Silver is kind of low, and our policy is still easing, I think. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy silver and gold and hope that they go up. I have credit of 1.3 billion. So we're just going to split it in half and buy half and half gold and silver. I can do 1,500 contracts, so I'm just going to make it 700. Reselect to silver, buy. Here I can afford 560, so I'm going to make it 400. Okay, so we want those two to go up. All right, so I'm going to fast forward now until April the 10th, or until something else happens, like if we go broke again, or if we end up making a whole bunch of money and we get down to zero on our debt, then I will come back and we'll figure out what else to buy. All right, so I'll be right back. Okay, so they're going south on us. I bought them both and they really haven't moved that much, so I don't know why I have that much of a margin call, 673 million. But let's take a look. All right, this one is worth notional value of 86.53. So basically we'll get 5% of that back, and maybe that'll be enough. Well, it only took care of half of it. So I guess we're going to have to cancel this one too. And I had to sell 1% of HGSI. Why is this going negative so much? Why is my cash so negative? His stock price should be going up, but it's going down instead. Lawyers earning massive fees in fraud suit by whatever that is versus HGSI. Serious accounting discrepancies. Did I buy this with its... did it have some sort of thing going against it when I bought it? What in the world's going on? I don't see anything up here. You know, just a second ago this was positive and now it's negative, but I don't see anything in here that says why that would happen. All right, I mean, we're down to 3 million over here in our net worth. I mean, if we sell the stock, we're going to lose more than 3 million. See, negative 149, so we're broke again. All right, I guess I don't know what happened there with HGSI, but that didn't work out well for us. So let's restart. It's part of the reason why I like to do this early on, so we don't have this happen later. Trying to get that right up in the corner. There we go. Okay, so we're going to buy Genzyme. Okay, we'll give him 600 million. And we've got 94 million left over. We are projected to make a profit. Let's go ahead and buy. Well, there's no offers yet. Okay, so I guess we just have to wait for the earnings to come out. Let's see what we need to make his management again. 10% and growth rate of 22. All right, and he's already up to $15. So we're going to fast forward to January the 10th. All right, so instead of a negative 0.21, he's got a little bit of a profit. And we'll have to see what he's doing on the next one. 20 cents a share. Industry's deteriorating. He's reasonably competent. We have more money now by about 8 million. Let's go see if there's assets for sale. And there are. So let's buy 100 million. Okay. And we'll just fast forward to February the 1st. Okay, here we are, February the 1st. So now we can buy and sell commodities, none of which are in a situation that I want to buy or sell. But the only one I would be willing to do is the index, but it's not really doing much. Holy cow. All right, let's sell short some corn and see if we can't make a good buck there. And we'll put it all in corn. We will go all in on corn and see if we can make a big buck. All right, so let's do 2,000 contracts. And look at that, it went all the way up to 990 as a result of that trade. 1031. Nope. We're hugely bankrupt again. Wow, he's really, I don't think I've ever gone broke 3 times in a row in a game. Don't get cold in the soup line. Okay. Wow, that has not worked out 3 times in a row. I don't think I've ever had it happen that way 3 times in a row. So I don't really want to end the episode without a net worth, but we're kind of getting up there now. So come back next time and I will restart this game and we will get it going for real. All right, so this is RakeM saying thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it. I know we didn't get anywhere, but you know, sometimes that's what happens, and I'm sure you've experienced it yourself, so I'm not going to feel bad about it. And hopefully you feel better seeing me go broke 3 times in a row. But anyway, come back next time. We will restart the game. We will see if we can't run our net worth up from 1 billion up to about 20 and get this game started. So come back for episode 2 on the 19th of February. And until then, this is RakeM saying, have a good one.